I had a connection with Tristan since last summer. Him just talking about the facilities and his coaching staff and the city itself. I heard a lot of great things about Cleveland, and I'm just excited to be here and just enjoy every minute with everybody. I believe that I'm a competitor. I love to win, and I really hate to lose. So, winning state championships, that means a lot. 4 in a row, that's really tough. So just having that mentality of just staying focused, staying locked in practice, I think that's just going to carry over into the big leagues.
And I've talked to a lot of people that have watched your practices over the years, whether it was at Canisius or Lemoyne or whatever in high school, and said you do an inordinate amount of shooting early in the practice. Was that a common thread here in these 3 picks? Obviously, guys that can fire away.
If you follow any of the really successful teams, you can just seeing more and more of it. So I think that obviously seeing Darius shoot it was really good. And not that you can play with a lot of different point guards and still win, but I felt as soon as and we felt collectively as soon as we got Darius with that type of ability. Now got to give him more space now, right? And the space comes from Dylan. So it's just having more shooters on the court. Still got to be able to know how to play, willing to defend. Have some quickness about them as well, and all these guys do. But the more shooters you got on the court, that's who's winning right now. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I wasn't too caught up or worried on whether I was going to get picked or not, things like that. I was just trying to focus on myself and just help Belmont be the best it can be, and ultimately try to lead them in the NCAA tournament, which we did, and just try to become the best player I can be. And if that helps me end up playing in the NBA and get picked in the NBA draft, then that comes with it. But I was just trying to focus on myself and get better and try to be the best player that I could be. I didn't want to set too many expectations because you get caught up on numbers and this and that and where you think you're going to get picked, and sometimes you can get let down. So I kind of just went into it with an open mind and knowing that a year ago from today, if I thought I would be even close to being in this situation, that I would be more than happy with that. So I kind of just went in with that mindset and just was going to be happy with whatever happened.
All right, here you have Darius-Garland, guard, 5th pick overall out of Vanderbilt. Only played 5 games there, but he did average 16.2 a game, 3.8 rebounds, and he missed most of the season due to the torn meniscus, but apparently he is okay right now. 2 things. When you were at Syracuse, you got to know John-Beilein a little bit. Did you ever wonder if he could coach in the pro level?
All the time, yeah. I wonder about a lot of the top-tiered coaches, and I always had heard in the past that Dan Gilbert and the Cavs had looked out to other college coaches. Tom Izzo was the one that kind of famously happened, Calipari as well. It surprised me which one they went with, but it did not surprise me that they did go to the college ranks.
Here's Dylan-Windland, 6'8", 200 pounds, 22 years old, 21.3 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, and 54% field goal shooting. And 3-point shooter, pretty good, 43%, was suspended during the season. That's Kevin Porter Jr., was suspended during the season due to personal conduct issues. By the way, they'd have to get rid of this drafting guys and then they're on different teams.
Yeah, the NBA has it screwed up completely. The NFL doesn't have this problem. This is one of the things where progressively, like the NBA should be at the forefront. Instead, they're lagging behind. And their commissioner, Silver, he knows that this has been criticized. It's illogical. And the fact that you're up there, seeing reports, so basically they're steering you away from the actual television broadcast. Right. You're seeing reports about what's going to happen with these guys, and then you find out later. It's very anticlimactic. One other thing just dawned on me. I didn't notice this until now, even though the draft was last week. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. You tell me, Les, because you're pretty good at deciphering these things. The Cavs drafted a player with the name Port in the last name. Makes sense, right? They drafted a guy with the last name Garland. And Windler, the name Win. This is perfect, right?
Perfect for what?
I have a theory. I don't know.
Oh, I have a theory.
Yeah.
Here, I have a theory. Cleveland Bill has a theory. Since the Cavs drafted 3 shooters, will they end up adopting a run-and-gun offense like the old Paul Westhead Loyola Marymount teams, or perhaps the less manic recent Golden State squads?
Look, I'm not going to read much into the way or the style that they're going to play basketball, or even the way that John-Beilein coached it in college. The NBA is a totally different animal. I know everyone said, well, he loves to go with the guards in college. Look, the NBA is changing, it's evolving, but they are early in their rebuild. You know, for as bad as they were last year, they were not that young of a basketball team. They still had a lot of the guys that were supposed to be veterans to help them. This year, they will be one of the youngest teams in the league. And that's regardless of what they do with Kevin Love. So I'm not reading too much on whether guys match, whether or not there's a chemistry or a cohesion. That doesn't matter to me this year right now. It really doesn't.
Can you see the two small guard offense, which will play offense but won't play defense, put on the same floor as Kevin Love, Tristan-Thompson, and somebody else?
Well, there's a possibility. I still wouldn't rule out the thought that Tristan-Thompson gets moved at some point. I think Jordan Clarkson is going to be someone they're dangling. J.R. Smith will not be on this team this year, whether or not they cut him outright or whether or not they trade him. And then Kevin Love has come up. He has surfaced in a bunch of different trade scenarios. The reason, and I didn't think this would happen so soon, the fact that Golden State is in flux and people around the league are starting to pay attention to how open this league is this year, I think there now is a chance where a team says, you know what? Kevin Love is pretty fresh because he missed so many games last year. We know he's going to be able to shoot the ball no matter how long he plays in a game. It's not like he got by on explosion or athleticism. He's going to be able to still shoot from long distance to create space on a floor. I could see teams out there like the Portland Trailblazers, maybe the Denver Nuggets say, we could win this year. Look at what happened with Toronto last year. They stole a championship. Why can't it be us? But you need another player to do it. The Cavs are sitting there with Kevin Love.
Well, they stole the championship because they won enough games to get home court advantage.
It was huge. It was absolutely huge.
Absolutely, no question about it. 216